In this video, I am going to explain how to get out of debt, step by step, including a magical extra step that is often overlooked but can make a tremendous difference. Over the years, we've helped hundreds of people struggling with debt to get completely out of debt much quicker than they ever thought possible. Now, if you are already debt-free, congratulations. But even if you are, most likely you know and care about someone that isn't. And you may want to share this video with them. First, let me clarify what I'm not talking about in this video. I'm not talking about bankruptcy or debt settlement or credit counseling. Those are what we call hardship programs when you have fallen behind on payments. I'm not talking about any of the hardship payment programs that are out there. That will be a different video. The strategy I'm going to share is for those who have debt, they have income, and they are consistently making on-time payments, and they can continue to do so. But they're not making any real progress. When you are servicing debt, it's not only the interest cost that's sucking you dry, but it's also the interest that you're not earning as a result of the debt. Debt is a major obstacle preventing many people from adequately saving and earning compound interest. In other words, consumer debt comes with a huge opportunity cost. Okay, so let's get into it. I'm going to explain how to get out of debt step by step, including the magical extra step. First, you're going to want to list out your debts. So you just use a piece of paper or a spreadsheet if you prefer. And there's going to be 5 columns: the creditor, balance, the rate, the minimum payment, and extra. Then list out all the debt details, including credit cards, auto loans, medical bills, student loans, parent loans, mortgages, anything with a balance that could be permanently paid off. Don't include expenses such as utility bills or rent payments. Those are not debts. Those are expenses, right? Write down the outstanding balance, the interest rate, and the minimum monthly payment for each debt. And it's important that in the payment column, it's the actual minimum payment. If you're consistently paying more than the minimum, identify the extra in the extra column, okay? Do that for each debt. Add up the total extra that you're regularly paying and that you are able to pay each month. Next, you want to prioritize the payoff order. There are 2 different ways to do this: the debt snowball or the debt avalanche. With the debt snowball method, you ignore the interest rates and you prioritize the payoff by the balance size. The smallest balance first, then moving to the next smallest balance, okay? With the debt avalanche method, you ignore the size of the balance and you prioritize the payoff order by interest rates. Highest interest rate first, and then move to the next highest rate. Either approach will work, but the debt avalanche method is mathematically superior. You will pay less interest, and you will get out of debt in a shorter time frame when paying off the highest interest first, okay? The debt snowball method, you could say, is emotionally or psychologically superior, meaning you're able to see progress sooner, and so that may keep you motivated to keep going. Both methods will save you a ton of interest and a ton of time and help you get out of debt way ahead of the regular schedule. There's really not a huge difference between the two, but like I said, the debt avalanche method is ranking them by the highest interest rate. It is mathematically superior. When you include this additional magic step that I'm going to be explaining, it makes doing the debt avalanche quite simple. Now let's look at a sample case for Joe and Jackie. So take a look at my screen, and you can see we have our 5 columns: creditor, the balance, the rate, the payment, and the extra. And you can see that they have a total of 7 debts. They have 3 credit cards, they have a car loan, medical bills, a truck loan, and a mortgage. And we've got all of their balances identified, total of $315,500 that they owe total, right, including their mortgage. And then you've got the interest rates listed out per debt and their minimum payments. So Joe and Jackie have been paying extra on some of their debts. On 5 of them, they've been adding an extra $100. And so down below, you can see we have an extra total of $500 in this case. Now, your scenario may look entirely different, of course, it will. And you may not have much of any extra. That doesn't mean this doesn't work. It absolutely does. But if you've got some extra, that's just going to help move things along faster, right? Okay, so if you look at the total of the payment column, their total minimum monthly payments are $2,630. And so that's their minimum obligation. They are working and they have income, and they're able to make that without any trouble. And they're adding some extra money to that as well, right? But if they follow the same kind of traditional approach, they're going to be in debt for a very long time, and they're going to pay way more interest than is necessary. And so using either the debt snowball or the debt avalanche, in this case, we're going to use the debt avalanche, and we're going to rank them by interest rate. So you can see that their credit card number 3, it has the highest interest rate. And so that is going to be our primary target. So their minimum payment is $255. And now we're going to add that $500 extra just to that one debt. So we're going to focus on the priority debt. And so $755 is going to be going to that credit card, and it's going to be paid off in 13 months. So in 1 year, that's gone. And then as soon as that debt's gone, you're going to take that $750 and we're going to add it to credit card number 2, which is the next highest interest rate. So combined, that's going to be $875 a month, pounding down on that credit card, and 17 months total, and it's done. So a year and a half, and 2 of the credit cards are gone, okay? And then we just continue that strategy following paying the highest interest rate. And the thing that's consistent here is the monthly amount. See, so their total obligation is $2,630, and we're adding the $500, so their total monthly commitment or debt plan, we'd say, is $3,130. So that $3,130 is all they have to pay each month consistently. They don't have to worry about changing that or increasing it, and you certainly don't want to decrease it. But it's just that consistency and rolling it down, and you're going to save yourself a ton of interest and get out of debt quickly. So let me just show you how long it takes. So to have all of the debts paid off, except for the mortgage, it's 39 months. So it's 3.2 years. Only 3.2 years. Cars are paid off, credit cards are paid off, medical bills are paid off. The only debt they have left is their mortgage. So now they have a choice. If they say, well, let's go ahead and pay the mortgage off, they're going to add that to the mortgage. It's $1,930 on top of their mortgage. Their mortgage will be paid off in 7 years after that. Okay, so the total debt, including their mortgage, everything is paid off in 10.3 years with this example. And they didn't really increase the amount that they were paying. They just locked in, and they had a plan and they had a strategy. And so you can accomplish some amazing things, right? Now, when it comes to their mortgage, when they've paid off all the debt, and we get to the mortgage, there's a decision to be made. If paying off the mortgage early is a goal, then go for it. But there are some other considerations. And that's where we get into the discussion of good debt versus bad debt. Many people would choose to, rather than taking that $1,930 and paying it extra on the mortgage, they start to save or invest that money. So almost $2,000 a month now is going into savings. And if they did that for the next 7 years, then they're earning interest greater than what the mortgage is, especially if you have a low mortgage, a good rate on your mortgage, then there becomes a decision to be made. There is an opportunity cost. And so I need another video on that subject, but it's your preference. If having the peace of mind of having that mortgage paid off, then go for it. But if you want to use some leverage and end up with more money in the long run, then you may consider some other strategies there. Your age comes into play, your goals, your risk tolerance. There's a whole bunch of things that come into play that's going to make that decision. And so, like I say, that's for another video. So what is the additional magic step that is often overlooked? It is the power of automation. When you make this process automatic, you make it easy on yourself. So how does that work? What you do is you set up an additional checking account at your existing bank or credit union. This additional checking account has one purpose, and that is to create automated discipline for your debt plan. You should give this new checking account a name and distinguish it from your regular checking account. I would suggest you call it your debt freedom account. After you establish your debt freedom account, you ask the bank to set up automatic transfers from your regular checking account to your debt freedom account that lines up with the timing of your payday schedule. In our example case with Joe and Jackie, the total monthly debt plan was a monthly amount of $3,130. So $3,130 would need to be automatically transferred and separated from their other income and regular spending account, depending on the payroll frequency and depending on your due dates of each debt. You need to establish a schedule that will work with you for you and your cash flow. Whether you're paid weekly or bi-weekly or twice monthly, you'll likely need to have more than one automatic transfer happening per month. But getting this set up, it takes a little effort, but it is so worth the effort. It goes on autopilot. Ideally, you can add another layer of automation by using your bank's online bill pay system to establish a recurring debt payments from your debt freedom checking account. So it's happening automatically. And then when one debt's paid off, you make the adjustment and you power down the next debt. Whatever your total monthly debt plan amount is, it's earmarked and dedicated to pay down the debt. This forces you to live on the rest. It's similar to having taxes withheld from your paycheck. Your taxes are removed before you ever see it, and which makes it impossible to spend. Right? This does take a little effort, like I said, but when you do this, you have a serious plan of action, and debt freedom is on the horizon. This automatic transfer principle of out of sight, out of mind is also a superpower for saving and investing. When you set it up to save and invest automatically, you are also forcing yourself to live on whatever's left over, and your financial situation improves dramatically. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you'll share it with others that could benefit from it. And for additional information, we have resources on thefinancialfastlane.com, and I look forward to seeing you in the next episode of The Financial Fast Lane.